Welcome to In the Know. We are here to talk about EJ Liddell, who had a triumphant return to Summer League, I would say. But we will discuss all of his play and more coming up. All right, Mason, it's time to talk about EJ Liddell, who I would say, had a fun summer league. He only played 4 games, but averaged the same amount of points as Jordan Hawkins, 12.8 points per game, 55% from the field, a handful of rebounds, three rebounds or so. Didn't really produce much in the way of the box score outside of scoring, I would say. But look, before summer league even started, I said the objective for EJ should be to go out there and have fun. It's been precisely a year since he's played any kind of organized basketball. Entering an environment where you got hurt the last time you played is not an easy thing to overcome mentally, but he went out there. I think obviously he was tentative for a first few games. He sat out one, I believe, due to load management. And then he played a very good final game of Summer League. Just wanted to get your general thoughts on how he did.
Yeah, I mean, he was opportunistic. I think he was efficient offensively. He didn't miss a free throw, which is pretty. I mean, compared to some of the other guys we were talking about, 55% from Hawkins, Dyson and Sebron both under 70%. To go 18 for 18 from the line was refreshing. And look, I mean, I think they used him in some fun lineups as far as playing without a traditional big. And so I think you saw from him everything you would have hoped to see, I think, given where he's come from, like you said, in the last year. So yeah, fun summer league for him. Hopefully he enjoyed it, and looking forward to seeing him in training camp. I mean, like thinking back to a year ago, this team, they bought into him literally with a contract, and so like I think they have confidence in him, and I'm looking forward to seeing how it plays out as they get going this season.
Yeah, again, his minutes were managed pretty heavily. I think the biggest thing that stood out to me was his touch around the rim, especially going downhill. He is big, he is agile, he's athletic, and I think again, once he gets more comfortable playing in space, because just coming back from injury, just getting used to the speed of things, that's going to look even better. But anytime he was in transition, anytime they got him going towards the basket, it seemed nearly impossible to contain him, and his touch seemed really nice at the rim. In college, he was used often as a post-up player, but even in college, he took more threes per game, or just had a higher three-point attempt rate than he did this time around. I don't know if that was a product of the offense, which I think it was, but I also think it could be a product of the quality of guards that he was playing with. Dyson and Sebron kind of did their best to generate threes. We can talk about that, I think, in a separate video, but I do think he will get more catch and shoot three opportunities as a player on the main roster. And I think for him, the continued emphasis needs to be just stay confident. I thought his handles in traffic were pretty nice. I thought his breaks were pretty nice. And I think I would like to see him attack the glass more because he's going to be one of our bigger players out there. If the idea is for him to play small ball 5 and take over those Larry minutes at some point, then there's going to need to be rebounding from that position. And I think he's capable of it. But yeah, I mean, I look, not really an opportunity to flash all of his game, but he played pretty much within himself. And I would say largely mistake free. He ended the league with 1.3 turnovers a game, which is teeny tiny compared to some of the other players. So I was satisfied with him. I don't have high expectations. Again, I just don't think it's easy to break into the rotation if the Pelicans are healthy, but there's going to be times, right? There is no Jackson Hayes to get the minutes behind Larry Nance now. There is no Willie Hernangomez to get those minutes. It's Cody Zeller and Larry Nance. And so if Zion's hurt and if Larry's hurt, minutes are going to be there.
Yeah. I mean, look, he averaged eight rebounds per game his last year in college. So I think the rebounding, the numbers are kind of an anomaly in my opinion. So I think it's fair to call out. my area of concern. I think to your point, he's got to be ready to shoot. I think he took like 4 threes per game in college, and so I think he's willing. It's just that the coaching staff's got to continue to reinforce it. So yeah, I mean, I think you saw what you want to see from him in his first few games back after not playing for a year, and we'll see where it goes.
I would like to borrow concepts from Utah when utilizing him, specifically. Like, I'm not saying he's a shooter or like player that Lauri Markkanen is, but one of the big things that unlocked Lauri Markkanen for this year is they got Lauri going downhill on a lot of actions, and when someone's that big and that quick, it's really just tough to defend. And I think you're going to see a lot of that with EJ, not CJ. Just get him going downhill. He'll get to the free throw line, and maybe he'll never miss a free throw in the NBA either. But yeah, all in all, good results from EJ. Excited to see him. Happy he's healthy, and here's to a successful season from him.